There we are. We're live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Whatever Show. I am Lawrence Winterman.
And I am Dana Dubois, and that is my best friend.
That's my best friend.
How?
Dana, I have something very amusing to show you. Good morning. Good
Lord,
morning.
what is happening right now?
Mommy, can you hear me? Where are
Don't,
you, Mommy?
oh my God, Lawrence, what new toy have you gotten? What is that?
I bought a soundboard.
Oh my God, I'm crying so hard. You're smudging my glasses, Lawrence. Oh, okay, I needed that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I bought
47.
a new mic and a soundboard. People were
Oh,
complaining that they couldn't hear me. Can you hear me now, everybody?
oh my God, Lawrence, what are we now? 45, 46 years of friendship, and you can still surprise me. That was so fun.
Yeah, I was
That
like,
was
join early
amazing.
so I can test my new mic.
Oh my God. After this week, especially, I needed that. Let's hear a couple more. What else can you do?
Well, there are a couple different reverb options, so we could try one out. Um,
Mhm. The Daily
this one
Whatever's
is
going
supposed to be a
great.
church.
Oh yeah.
I'm singing in a church.
I need
Where are you, Dana? I can't
the poltergeist voice. Can you say, Mommy? And I'll be like, Carol Ann, Carol Ann, where are you?
Mommy, 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 where are you,
Oh, I'm
mommy?
still crying, still smudging up my glasses. Oh
So
my God,
this
Lawrence,
is
that's
church. Oh no, that's church again. Hall. I don't know. I don't know how a hall is different from a church. Oh, this is echo. Echo, echo, echo.
that's lovely. Try humming if you. Oh no, you don't like when I tell you to hum or sing. Mm.
Yeah, I'm not good at that.
No, but it sounds really nice with all of that. Okay, Lawrence, we're clearly losing our minds here
I
on the.
mean, it in this country at this point, how can we not be losing our minds? Um,
You are absolutely not wrong, and that is the best new toy. I applaud your decision to buy this new toy. Full stop.
I'm very
Amazing.
excited about it,
Yeah.
and it really should fix the not being able to hear me issue. Is my voice still kind of reverby?
No,
Okay, good.
I
Uh,
don't I don't think so. You all can say so if you hear it, but I
yeah,
don't. It's
let us know in
it's
the chat if it's still super weird or something. But anyway, so
oh,
I got
welcome
the
to
audio issue fixed. Hooray!
Hooray. Welcome to Fucked Up Friday, everybody. We have
Yes,
Ahmed Baba joining us, not Bob Burr with an R on the end.
right.
Apologies for the incorrect tag. Um, and he's backstage right now, and I think we're all in for a treat. He is an amazing journalist, an amazing voice here in Substack. And I am off center. Hold on, let me do that. What a morning. What
Right.
a
You know us.
fucking
We have
week.
to go for our. Do we
Yeah.
visually look correct? Do we sound right?
Yeah. Let me fix my hair that I haven't even brushed. Yeah. I am. Are you wearing your Fuck Trump t-shirt today, Lawrence? I think you
I'm
are.
wearing my rainbows and sunshine fuck Trump t-shirt.
And I'm wearing my floral
Ooh, very nice.
Fuck
Yeah,
Trump t-shirt. Yeah,
I've also
it's
got an autumn fuck Trump t-shirt and an
oh,
ocean fuck Trump t-shirt. I need to make an a winter one.
you definitely need an ice one. Um, Speaking of ice,
Yeah.
Lawrence,
Speaking of ice,
yeah, I know we're all
should we bring Ahmed in for this? I feel like if we're gonna verge into talking about the news, we should bring in our guest.
we probably should. One quick thing first I want to say is that apparently like Seattle's on the recruitment website pretty heavily right now. And so
Good
it's a
times.
it's coming here. And I saw my neighborhood has like a small Facebook group. Well, it's actually pretty big. It's several thousand people. And I saw someone posted their concerns this morning and kind of what can we do? And some guy wrote back about the illegals, and I would hope we would help them all do their jobs. And I reported that man for hate speech. I don't know that it will do anything. And I know the admin for the group, and she's probably pissed at me because you shouldn't just report people in groups that can harm the group.
Right.
But I just, in a fit of rage, was like, get the fuck out of my neighborhood. No one is illegal.
Yeah,
That's incorrect.
honestly,
grammar
fuck this
usage.
timeline. Fuck everything that's going on. Fuck this week. Fuck last week.
We have a lot of fucked up news to talk about for fucking Friday today.
We do.
And yeah, YouTube is going to ban us probably for this episode because we're going to say fuck so many times.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, no casting no aspersions on his character. Ahmad Baba is joining us today. We're super excited to have him. Ahmad, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that whole intro there. I was dying backstage.
Nice.
What, Lawrence? Can you repeat "Welcome to the show" to Ahmad, but like in one of your voices?
What?
Let's make it sound like God. Welcome.
Oh yeah.
Hey, let me put some reverb on it.
I need this, to be honest.
Welcome to the show, Ahmed. That sounds a little devilish.
Maybe
Little Vader-y.
Very
little
different.
Vader.
Little Vader.
Oh my
Your
God.
lack of faith disturbs me.
I need this voice changer in my life. I need to, maybe my dog will listen to me.
Lauren, send out the link to whatever toy that is that you bought because we all need one of these. Right?
Yeah, I will. I'll post the link. It's super fun, and it's actually pro. Like the toy bits of it are just for fun. It is actually helping to ensure that I have good audio throughout these. We've had some issues over the course of the last couple of days.
Right.
But Ahmed, welcome. In case there's anyone here who doesn't know who you are, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, my name is Ahmad Baba. I'm an independent journalist. I've been doing pro-democracy journalism for about 10 or so years now. Documented every day of Trump's first term. It led to, no hair being there anymore. Still I kept my sanity though, luckily. And then, basically I've been doing these deep dives into authoritarianism. I was one of the first to write about Project 2025, which led me to make a lot of appearances to warn about that. Unfortunately, warnings didn't really work, but now I've been analyzing it, to talking through writing and documenting what's going on. And also at the beginning of the show, I heard you mention you guys are based in Seattle, right?
I am.
Dana's in Seattle. I'm
You're
in
Seattle.
Indiana. Yeah.
Oh, great. Because I actually do some tech projects on the side, and I'm doing a tech project with this Seattle-based nonprofit called Common Power. You've probably heard of them.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I work with them pretty often, so I've been to Seattle a couple times. So I just wanted to make.
Oh my gosh.
Which time zone are you in? If you're not comfortable sharing where you are, that's okay. But
I'm in the atmosphere currently. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I'd be as vague as possible. People don't come hunt me down. No, I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in the East Coast.
Nice. All right. I'm in Indiana, which, believe it or not, is actually Eastern time zone. I don't know why. Everyone thinks it's Central. It's not. But
oh wow, I didn't know.
Yeah. Nice. Well, welcome from Brooklyn. How worried are you that New York is gonna get the Minneapolis treatment?
I think with New York, we're in a different situation because obviously we have Hochul, we have Mamdani, pretty forceful, and I think the NYPD. I don't know. I have a feeling that New Yorkers are going to be even more forceful against this if it were to come here. I mean, Minnesota, they're standing up in really meaningful ways, but in how dense the city is a lot easier to kind of surge people in protests. Yeah. So I'm obviously I think we'd be on the target list, but apparently Mamdani has Donald on a text chain, just like swagging him up every week. So I don't know. Maybe he's talking him out of it. We'll see. But either way, I just think this whole Insurrection Act threat, the militarization of ICE is it's insanity. Yeah,
I'm curious. Living in this weird little teeny tiny blue bubble in a very red state. Like, what was the vibe shift like when on January 1 when Mamdani got sworn in? Like, could you feel it in the air? I just have this I just feel like you could walk down the street and like breathe the liberation in the air. Is that true?
The vibe shift happened the election day.
Yeah.
I would say since then, because like I'd walk outside and you'd see a bunch of like Arab teenagers that were so happy, like encouraging people to vote. And I've never seen this excitement since like Obama '08.
Yeah.
I was like 14 at that time, but like I saw it. I wasn't
Yes, us
participate,
too.
but-
We were also 14 at the time, Ahmed.
yeah. I mean, but like it's no, clearly you guys look incredible by the way. Just wanted to let you know. Yeah, I mean, it's been this really exciting time, and now since he's been sworn in, all the stuff he's doing, we're already getting closer to near universal childcare here. They
Yeah.
just added
Saw that.
2-year-olds immediately. Governor is really stepping up and like doing excellent work. So we're all feeling pretty good here. We're feeling like a little haven within the insanity going on in the country.
Yeah. I think it's such a great example of if you have true progressive leadership in somebody like Mamdani, you can literally move the more conservative members of the party, like Kathy Hochul, right? Like she is not known for her like screaming progressivism. But the fact that she recognizes that she needs Zoran to win her reelection and that by helping him, she could kind of build an ally for her future reelection, and doing the right thing by him by getting universal child care passed is going to, redound to her benefit down the road.
Yeah.
Like, it's just proof that if we get truly progressive leaders elected, it does change the whole dynamic. It changes the conversation.
Truly, yeah, and truly progressive leaders who know the art of persuasion,
Yeah.
were able, because he moved the whole state, city, and apparently country. He had Donald, but basically letting him call him the fascist in the Oval. Said, "You call me whatever you want, Mom."
Right.
Treating him like he's his new son. Like I think
Right.
it's about the persuasion, the progressive politics, and then just showing like an example of you don't need to just look at where the polling is. You can focus on the issues you want to push, the policies you want to push, and then moving Americans towards it. And it worked, and now we're getting all this great policy here, and that could be the U.S. in 28 if things go well. That
Seriously, like this should be like a "this could be us" meme, like
Right?
hey US, this could be us.
I'm like this right now, and what it's really making me think about is how the Democrats are getting their messaging wrong, and that if you speak simply and you talk about the things that matter, like, hey, we want everyone to have good food and to not be bankrupted when they have kids by the cost of childcare.
Right.
Most people's ears perk up. They're like, wait, what? What are we doing about this? And how can we make it possible? I mean, it helps that it's New York City. So of course things are more liberal leaning there in general, but yeah, the fact that that's happening as the rest of us are panicked and clearly losing our foothold. I mean, I'm really like all week I feel like I've been this like this. I can't talk because of watching what's happening in Minneapolis is like literally robbing me of my eloquence. I'm so horrified, and so horrified to see how many, not of my friends, because I block people like this, but like friends of friends on social channels are like, well, yeah, they're doing their job. We need this for safety. I support this. And I'm like, I don't understand how anyone can look at the city of Minneapolis right now and not be appalled. And to think it's still about like getting rid of dangerous criminals,
Right.
Who immigrated here. Like I just jaw down, lack of words, rage.
That's that's honestly how I've been feeling. And I like posted about this after like the days after the attack. Like I've just been feeling morally furious. And it's fitting on my Friday because I've been cussing more than I had in a long time.
Bring it.
And appearances and everything, because I'm pissed, but it's turned more into resolve and focus in recent days. But like initially, like it's just been disgusting and depraved to watch the way that they killed her in cold blood and then walked away, fled the scene, and then proceeded to lie about it. And like people don't talk enough about Kristi Noem's initial story.
Yeah.
Total fabrication. Like there was no car stuck in the snow. She didn't approach and start attacking the people in the surrounding area. Total bullshit. Like absolute fabrication. So therefore, how can we trust any characterization of any shooting like the one this week? I'm now in this place, and I think all journalists should be, that take every single thing the administration says as a lie until proven true.
Yeah.
Yes. I heard you say that on your podcast with Dom yesterday with Don Lemon, and a lot of folks in the chat are like, "Where did I just see him?" I'm like, "You saw him yesterday live with Don Lemon." There were a lot of folks in that chat, and I was one of them.
Yeah, because it's just necessary.
Yeah. When you said that, I cheered out loud in my car of like, yes, anything.
The other thing that has really struck me that, you know, I keep seeing, you know, people of color, black and brown folks on Substack saying like, hey, welcome everybody. This is justice and policing in the United States. If you're a person of color, congratulations. Now you all see it too. And, you know, exactly like you're saying, Ahmed, the fact that they immediately went out with zero facts, lied their asses off, and, you know, tried to make it like Renee Good was a monster and the guy was a hero, like fighting for his life. And then we all see the video, and that's patently not true, right? Like it's just the exact opposite of what really happened. And, you know, it really, you know, as like a middle-aged white guy, the, you know, sort of journey that I've been on in terms of coming to terms with my own kind of baked in racism from growing up in this patriarchal white supremacist country, you know, that with George Floyd and Black Lives Matter, and like that has not stopped, even though they want it to have stopped. You know, that process, that journey for a lot of us hasn't stopped. And seeing now a situation like this and really kind of having that, you know, I don't want to say knife turned, but, you know, the point really driven home of, hey, no, this is what it's like for a lot of people in this country all the time.
Yes.
It's fucking horrifying.
Yeah. And I think that's honestly really well put, and, you know, it's really reflective of you too, because I think it's Black people felt this way driving around in different, you know, depending on how much police engagement you've had. I've felt like this when driving around certain police back when I lived in Virginia. That's where I grew up. And it's like now when everyone is a target. Like we see here a 37-year-old white woman that the last thing she said was, "I'm not mad at you, dude." You know, this wasn't, you know, and that she was clearly turning away, trying to leave. There was a dog in the back seat. Like there was clearly, if you're going to use your car as a weapon with a dog, your puppy in the back seat. And, you know, no, it was ridiculous. So it's like, no, I think you're right. And on that point of like, you know, people saying, "Oh, well, welcome," like Black people felt like this a long time. When I was in Selma earlier this year, they were all kind of like, "Oh, well, here we go again." Right. When after Trump won, it wasn't like oh, you know, and that's why like I personally I've kind of stopped using Nazi Germany comparisons, because I think it kind of it's worthy to you know, Gestapo. They're acting like Gestapo, but they're also acting like slave catchers, and they're also acting like we had authoritarianism in slavery. We had authoritarian. Jim Crow South was authoritarian. And as I've been writing this speech, I'm going to deliver Monday, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
MLK speech.
I've got the link all queued up here to put in the chat.
Thank you. Yeah, just been thinking about the history, and like we faced down worse circumstances than this. Like, although maybe not federally, well, actually, yes, federally, but like the Jim Crow South especially was like, they were just allowing white mobs to like roam free and commit mass violence whenever there was any progress, and then they wouldn't prosecute anybody. And we're talking thousands of people would be killed. You know, thousands were lynched. Like so where I'm at is like I'm angry, I'm pissed, I'm not demoralized, because I think Donald's not going to be the thing that takes on our republic. Like we faced worse things than this, more entrenched systems than this, and I think we can beat it. I think we're gonna beat it. I think he's cooked. I think this is all weakness.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think it is all weakness. Your optimism gives me hope and optimism, because I will admit this last couple of weeks I've had nights where I've like cried myself to sleep. I'm not even fucking kidding. Where I'm like, my own personal life is a mess and the entire country is going to hell in a handbasket. My God. You know, what is going on?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dana.
Thank you. That is a comfort. And I can't remember who it was. It was a Black creator on Instagram that came by in my reels as I was waking up this morning. Not that I wake up and doom scroll at my phone. I do. Use that same word of slave catcher. Like Gestapo, yeah, see the comparison, but these are more like slave catchers. And I was like, oh, we're bringing our family of origin stories. Lawrence and I are both Jewish, so we're both applying our generational trauma to what we see happening. Both very bad looks for this
Yeah.
country. And yesterday we had Jen Budd on. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but if you're not, you should go subscribe and follow her work. She is a former Border Patrol agent who is now an immigrants' rights activist.
That's fantastic.
And I mean, like, I left that episode like I need to cry. Like it is hard not to feel helpless. Like I said at the start of the show, I can see a friend texted yesterday and was like, look at the ads. Seattle is you're next. And I work downtown. I still in my head, I'm try to come to terms with like, are you going to run to the front lines and throw your body in front of all of this? Or are you going to run? Are you going to fight? Are you like, I'm here, I'm fighting. Lawrence and I have put our faces out here every day since April. And that makes us more of targets in our own small ways. You know, we're not like the first people who anyone's coming after for our news, for our writing and our podcasting, but we're certainly on some lists, I would imagine. And who thought that's what we would be doing in 2026? You know, like back in the day.
Yeah.
I thought we would be like curing cancer and flying around on jetpacks.
And you know, I'm just glad we bring it down to the human level. Because, you know, a lot of times it's focused on analysis and legal analysis and political analysis, but like on the human level, this shit's just wrong. You know, it's just morally repugnant. And I think we need more people out here just speaking on the moral side of this. It's just fucking disgusting. There's no excuse, you know, on a human level, everyone knows it. And if you can excuse it, that says something about you. It's hard for me because I grew up in Virginia around people who back this guy, people I love, who love me, who are good people. But somehow, I don't know how it can be reconciled anymore, and I'm hitting a limit where I can no longer excuse it. And so that's where I'm at on that front. But yeah, on the dichotomy of like, you think this year we would be, you know, there's so many technological and scientific breakthroughs going on. There's like there's so much we could be doing. Literally, the capitalism and the market economy is almost pushing us towards a place where we could be resolving climate change because the non-renewable energy is so cheap now that it's almost, the market is almost replacing fossil fuels anyway. And yet we have our administration trying to pull us back and entrench us in the past. And it's like, we could be in a place where we could be heading towards that Star Trek future we'd all want, where we're focused on reducing scarcity and all of that. And it's like, instead we're sitting here debating whether or not certain people, certain colors deserve rights and, you know, and like, harassing and killing U.S. citizens and immigrants. It's dumb. And and I think Americans, unfortunately, were, you know, maybe got a cop out after Trump was taken out in 2020 and 2021. And then those people who backed him need to see the ugly face of this. And it's going to take time, but like, maybe they'll start waking up because I have no more excuses. I've run out of excuses. I've run out of all of them, especially it's like with family, friends, and people I know and love that back this. I can't excuse it anymore, and then they don't know how to talk to me about it. You know, they'll comment on my, you know, CNN or MSNBC appearance and say great job, but I'm like, did you listen to what I said? Did you hear what I said? I said your guy sucks. You know, so it's like I'm morally and in a human level, it's just been really hard start to the year, and he's trying to demoralize us.
100%. Lawrence and I are both Gen X. Our publication is called Gen Xy, and we have long held the value that Gen X is a fulcrum generation focused on generational healing. The right side of Gen X, the Gen Xy people.
There are plenty of Trump in office. There are plenty of schmucks on the other side of Gen X who were the ones that got us into this issue because they voted for Trump.
So and this is we're supposed to be a more culturally focused show than a more politically focused show, but every aspect of our culture is being decimated by what's happening politically. Like we can't be politically neutral and just be like, Lawrence, let's talk about like dating and parenting today. Fashion,
and my science fiction writing. Tips. You know, all of my writing is political now because everything is politics.
So this is where we put Fucked Up Friday in place so that we would have a record every week, so that we wouldn't be the boiled frog after a year and be like, oh my God, things got so much worse and we didn't recognize it because the water heated slowly. We're checking in every week and sounding the alarms. And the last week or two, like we just turned that gas burner up to like motherfucking the house is starting to catch on fire because the water's boiled out, and this metaphor is getting gross, but I think you hear where I'm going with this. Like everything got more amplified with Minneapolis. And when we talked about this with Jen some yesterday, of kind of the ethos of what these ICE agents and their supporters think they're doing, and why it's gotten worse. That with the passing of the big beautiful bill, there's now funding, people are coming through the training, there's more people on the ground to make an impact, and they all think they're on a holy mission to tear apart these heathen cities and purge them of ungodly people. Like there's an executive order that says we're all domestic terrorists. You know, if you're not a fan of Christian nationalism and you think gay people and trans people are real, that's some subversive ideology, and it makes you a domestic terrorist, which is now punishable by death if needed. I just want to underline all that. Like, if any of us get shot, it will be pardonable by 40% of our fellow Americans because we are domestic terrorists now.
It's
right.
And fortunately, I think the 40% is dropping. I think and there's the Renee Good killing specifically. Just looking at the polling, the amount, like we're seeing, you know, up to 90% of people have either heard about it or seen it. 75 or so at least seen it already, seen the video, and that's insane for our fragmented media moment.
Right.
And where back in the day, like 100% of Americans saw Selma and heard about it in the day or so after. Like we're getting Renee Good incident got up to that. George Floyd got up to that, and it's like and we see the numbers going down. And I know people when they hear me say that, their retort is like, "Oh, well, public opinion doesn't matter, and he's gonna cancel the midterms." I will say outright, 100%, he will not cancel the midterms. That's there's no way to do it. I'm sorry. Right. I know it's and the public opinion does matter. That's why he's so scared. If public opinion didn't matter and your vote didn't matter, the gerrymandering thing wouldn't have happened.
Right.
Why would they try to gerrymander if they were going to cancel the midterms? And yes, I'm not saying he's not going to try to do all this stuff. I just think he's going to fail. And I think he's already starting to lose some people on SCOTUS. I've been watching Amy Coney Barrett very closely, hearing how she explains her ideology. I think there's going to be certain things that happen. My thing is, if they didn't implement the tariffs, if they didn't put Elon Musk out there with a chainsaw acting like a lunatic, if they didn't burn all of their goodwill in 2025, and get themselves down to literally, he was down at 36%. Like he was 2 points away, or he's pretty close to his all-time low in the aftermath of January 6th.
Yep.
You know, so it's like what I'm getting at is that he is burning out. I think this is a final lash of a person who, first off, he's aging, and he's been thinking about his mortality because he keeps talking about getting into heaven and shit. And
good,
you know, he's acting,
good luck with that, Don.
he said it doesn't look like I'm, you know, like I'm gonna get in. So he's aware that he's doing some evil shit here and there. But like, I think this is all a lash out because they're about to get absolutely cooked in the midterms. And you can't really cancel the midterms because the Republicans need to be re-elected. You know, if you don't hold an election, who's going to hold any office in January? Like there's no logical recourse to cancel the midterm. Like we're not in a federalized, this is in Germany, right? Like there's states that run their own, like and in 2022, all of those election deniers lost. So almost all of the battleground states are run by Democrats. Like the midterms are going to happen. He's going to try to do some stuff, but I think they're going to lose. And then it's the beginning of the end of the lame duck era, and it's going to get way worse before it gets better. But I'm still optimistic even after all of this insanity. But I'm obviously very worried about like what happens in the medium term. Yeah.
I hope you're right.
I hope you're right. Although I'm worried that it's going to be a crazy mishmash where he tries to cancel them. You're right. The elections are run at the state level. I can imagine, states like Utah and Alabama being like, "Oh, nope, they're canceled, so we're not going to do them." And then the
Yeah.
other states do have elections, and then suddenly it's like, who's actually being seated in Congress?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Lawrence,
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, and I do think like there's the Mike Johnson maybe refusing to seat certain people is possible,
Yeah.
yes.
but same time, legally, if Dems were to win, he would legally no longer be speaker. So it's like there's all these different things I think will end up coming down to the law. And I know it's not easy to depend on that in Supreme Court right now. So I understand the fear of like doing it. I just try to abdicate myself of the fear of it because I think it's part of why he keeps mentioning it. Is because he wants us to live in fear. He wants to feel powerful. He wants his enemies to be demoralized. So I just try to, maybe it's delusional, maybe it's like toxic positivity, but I just I don't allow myself to go there. I live in the narrative that this is a weakening, want to be authoritarian. I would have been much more fearful if he was at higher approval ratings and didn't go idiotically berserk last year and botch.
Yeah. I think that's such a great point that there was like an unrestrained kind of self-harm thing that they did last year where, not that I want to like give tips to the dictator, but like if they played their cards a little bit better and not been so Project 2025 gung-ho right off the bat, they could have played it out a bit. It makes me, yeah. I like thinking about alternate history and stuff. Like, right, what if he had actually won the 2020 election and had been reelected? Like, where would we be right now after a second Trump term? Anyway, we're at the bottom of the hour, Ahmed, and you know that we're here to do Fucked Up Friday, our fun game show where everybody loses, even if you win. So we should probably move into that and actually start making our pitches. So Dana, do you want to explain to Ahmed and the new folks in the audience how it works?
I would love to. So Fucked Up Friday is, as Laura said, a very fun game where we all lose because this is our reality. But each of us has selected a story from the news this week, and it may be a story that you missed with everything happening in Minneapolis and waves hands like crazy. We are each going to pitch this story to you as to why we think it's the most fucked up story of the week. And when we're done, all of you in the chat get to vote for which story was indeed the most fucked up one. And we get the honor of a fake crown for the week saying, I picked the most fucked up story. We all get to win because we all get to be here together, and we all get to lose because we all have to live with it. Ahmed, are you feeling comfortable with the rules? Are you feeling confident that you've got the story?
Oh yeah. Just dystopian madness. Like I think all around, it's funny because you say one of us wins, but we all lose. Like pretty much describes it.
I think we should make that the official tagline of Fucked Up Friday. We should get the URL and just say, one of us wins, but we all lose. In the past, Ahmed, we would have our guests go first because we thought we were being polite, but we've come to realize that there's a recency bias. The person who goes last frequently wins. And so we will let you choose if you would like to go first, second, or third with your story.
I'll go. You just told me I'd have an edge if I went last, so I think I'll go last.
He's paying attention, Dana. Damn it!
Learning the rules.
You just gave me the cheat code. Thank you.
I did. Well, you're our guest. We want you to feel welcome. We want you to come back. So we're gonna give you every advantage we can. Lawrence, would you like to have the honors of kicking us off, or would you like me to?
Why don't you go first?
I will go first, and I have a link to my story here. So I am going to cut and paste it into the chat for funsies, but I'm going to give a little background. I'm going to do a little narrative to try to pitch my story. So I have 2 teen daughters, and their dad and I are no longer married, but we have a very good relationship. We're excellent co-parents, and he and the kids are EU citizens. I am not. And if we were still married, we probably already would have left a while ago. And it's not an easy thing to contemplate leaving the country, especially with one's ex. But so at the start of Trump 2.0, we had our list of things, a very short list of like, what are the things that if these happen, we got to get the fuck out of here right now. And his was, because he's ex-military, when Trump builds his own army, right? Hi, this week.
Right.
And I had two, one of which was the day I get challenged by anyone from the government for my writing. Like someone shows up at my door, or I'm getting, calls from the government. My door is being banged down, which didn't happen to me, but it did happen to a WAPO reporter this week. The second one is the day I have to register myself and my kids as Jewish. And that's kind of the top one for me, because that's like deep childhood trauma. The day someone is like, we're making a registry of all the Jews, I'm going to be like dropping the keys off with a property manager, saying, please hire someone to clean and go rent my home. We're out of here. So with that framing in mind, I will read this headline. University of Pennsylvania faculty condemn Trump administration's demand for, quote, list of Jews. So I'm sharing the good news that the faculty is condemning him, but the news that is fucked up is that the Trump administration went to an Ivy League college, the University of Pennsylvania, and said, give me all your Jews. Give me the list. I need to know who the Jews are. Why University of Pennsylvania? I do not know. But it's, to me, that's a like
Trump's alma mater, like
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with the list. I don't know. I don't know why they're. But what I hear is that we're starting to round up these names. And honestly, I don't even think they need the colleges to come forward. How many of us did an ancestry or a 23andMe test? Mine just came back with you're Jewish. There were no. I was hoping to learn like which countries in Central Eastern Europe. The diaspora is too small. So it's just you're Jewish, 96%. That's all I got. So they know without anyone offering up my name. But that is my pitch for most fucked up story of the week. And it's part of a broader one, which is a trifecta. All three things that we said meant we needed to get out happen this week.
Oh man.
Mic drop. That's my pitch.
Yeah. Okay. That is fucked up. That is a good pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know. Well, I think I can follow that actually. I
know you can.
I think I've got a contender.
I believe in you.
Okay. So, here's a little bit of context for mine too. And I don't have a link that I can share, which is part of this is super fucked up, because I had a link yesterday that no longer works. And so I think that there is potentially some internet scrubbing that is occurring.
That's fucked up.
That's super fucked up.
There. That's super fucked up.
Right. Like this whole thing is a bundle, which is there are credible reports on the ground in Minneapolis that that ICE is using not just tear gas, but let me get this word right, hexachloroethane, which is banned in international warfare by the Geneva Conventions. It is weirdly, thanks to a loophole in the Chemical Weapons Convention, not banned in the United States, but it is toxic. It is a central nervous system depressor. It is linked to cancer in the liver and other vital organs that we need to live. And it is something that is used as a part of crowd control because not only does, tear gas obviously makes people cry uncontrollably and cough. Hexachloroethane is a central nervous system depressor. And so it makes people ill and almost as if they were drunk, right? Like it depresses your central nervous system, and makes you not able to reason correctly. And basically, motor control is lost. It's particularly deadly for kids, and it is apparently being used in crowds where there are children present. It was used against a vehicle where there were 6 kids in the vehicle. People in the neighborhoods where it has been used are reporting kind of elevated rates of, feeling shitty and like, in fact, they got hit by this chemical. Yesterday, I was able to find a couple of links that at least talked about the fact that this was being reported. And today, when I went to go find my link for the show, there are things that were on the internet yesterday that are not on the internet today. And I know I should get my tinfoil hat out and put it on. But like those two things in combination, that they're potentially using this absolutely disgusting, toxic chemical weapon against American citizens, and that it is apparently being erased from the internet in real time. That is my submission for Fucked Up Friday.
My God, Lawrence, what
Good
was
luck,
the name
Ahmed.
of it again? What was
Very
it?
fucked up. I don't know.
Hexa what?
Hexachloroethane.
Chlora.
Yeah, I'm hexachloroethane. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down because I think this, if proven true, like fully investigated and mass use, would be significant, insane scandal. And I need to. I think I think I need to hit up some of my immigration reporter friends in the MSM and the mainstream media just to get them to look into this, because if this gets reported by like a Times or MS Now or anything, this needs follow up. Honestly, I should cancel mine. My Fucked Up Friday, because that was very, very fucked up. I mean, poisoning kids. You can't really get much more fucked up than that. But I will give it a shot because mine is more. I guess can pile onto that as like the kind of agents that could then use this kind of thing because they have no experience. So my story is an NBC News story that every time I brought it up, even in my recent like appearances in pods, like people were surprised and they hadn't heard of it. At least one person hasn't heard of it everywhere. And basically the headline is ICE error meant some recruits were sent into field offices without proper training. Now, this story is basically that they used AI to scan resumes that falsely flagged hundreds of ICE agents as having law enforcement background. Because even if it just said officer, or like the AI would take certain words or certain, and basically just, they didn't review them, a human didn't review them, and they just sent those ICE officers into field offices without proper training. Because if you didn't have a law enforcement background, you would get this 8-week in-person training course, and you would get law enforcement training, and you would actually be trained to go out in the field and do this. But this AI just basically erroneously flagged these people as having experience, so they bypassed that training, and they did like some online thing. So basically, AI systemically for a period of time here, the officials are trying to claim it only lasted for a month, which is crazy already, and that only a few hundred were affected, and they were later trained. But basically, what this indicates is that they're using AI to flag and vet people for the roles, the civilian-facing roles that we're seeing here. Obviously, Jonathan Ross, he was just a trigger-happy guy. He was trained. He's apparently been there for a long time.
Yeah, he was a trainer, an educator.
Yeah, he was literally a trainer himself. Right. So, but these other ICE agents, the ones we're seeing out there, just clearly have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Right?
Are they being not vetted? Are they just having their resume scanned by AI and sent and hired? This report raises so many questions. And I think it deserves way more inquiry, because I don't believe anything this administration says. I don't believe it was just a few hundred people. And this then begs another follow-up question. Are they completing background checks of these people? Are any of them Proud Boys? Yeah. Are any of them pardoned January 6ers? Like, what do we not know about
that's
these
the
people?
recruiting pool, isn't it?
Well, exactly.
That's right? Target audience.
Well, exactly. So what I'm getting at is they are using AI to systemically deploy unqualified, untrained ICE agents, and they're claiming it only happened that month, but I don't believe anything out of this administration's mouth. So I think it's just another piece of evidence of how just totally unprepared ICE is for this moment, and will fuel all the violence that we're seeing right now.
Yeah. Wrap all three of our stories up together, and what do you get?
Fascism.
Dystopia.
Fascism, right. You've got fascism.
I went with dystopia, but fascism.
Yes, fascist dystopia.
Fascist dystopia, for sure.
Let's merge those together. I think we should vote, and then I want to ask you, Ahmed. I'm going to say this now so we don't forget, but I want to talk about leaders like Cory Booker who are calling for more training for ICE instead of abolishing it, and your thoughts on that. But before we shift topics, We
Yeah.
need to vote.
Well, and we should say for the record, Dana suggested, Ahmed, that you meet Jen Budd, who we talked to yesterday, if you haven't yet, and talk to her. She
Yeah.
literally spoke to us about their hiring practices and their training and how they literally are looking for the worst. Like, she
Yes.
was an agent. She saw it happen firsthand.
Wow.
Like, rapes and child predation, none of those things are disqualifiers. They're actually bonuses.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
It's actually what they look for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Yesterday's episode was one of the hardest ones we did, listening to
Yeah,
Jen,
I have to go
and
check
how
it out.
traumatizing it was for her to go through it, and the aftermath of facing that trauma, and how she's come out the other side to be a champion against what's happening now. And she's having her moment. Like, everybody wants to hear
Right.
about
Deservedly
this
so.
now.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it is a hard fucking listen. But yeah, the AI is acting as intended, most likely. I think the goal is just to get as many incorporate, they'd say butts in seats, but here I guess it's guns on streets. Oh, I made a really bad rhyme.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
That's actually a bar right there. But that's, and yeah, in rap we say it's a bar. That's a line.
Yeah.
you just
Nice.
drop.
Yeah.
It's a bar.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It's like I'm a writer or something.
All right, so let's get to the voting. Everybody, if you haven't played before, you're voting for the most fucked up story of the week. If it's Ahmed and the AI hiring the worst of the worst for ICE, put Ahmed's name into the chat. If it's me and the hexachloroethane being deployed against the people and then erased off the internet, put my name in the chat. If it's Dana and the Jewish list at University of Pennsylvania for the coming roundup, put Dana's name into the chat.
I'm seeing some ties and a little bit of all of us, but Lawrence, you're taking it this week.
Yeah,
Like,
I vote for yours too, man. I can't.
I do too.
Because it's poison. Can't be poison.
Yeah, it's
because-
intentional use of poison against our citizens, like
Yeah.
and whether they're just people, against children, against a neighborhood.
Yeah,
Right.
there needs the fact that anyone's even reporting that, like, those claims need to be.
I see
100%
some
followed up.
links. I see some links, but they are not. I can't quite tell, but there's like a Fox 9 video. Authorities deploy chemical irritants on North Minneapolis neighborhood. I'm seeing a lot of chemical irritants on YouTube, but I haven't clicked in to see what they are, obviously, because we're on air. But I definitely need to look into this.
Yeah,
Who has any doubt?
I hope it's not true, right?
Yeah.
I hope it is not true, but it is coming from people in Minneapolis, and there were links that I was able to find and read yesterday that are not there today. I tried multiple. I'm not an inexpert Google searcher.
Right.
I found something.
Oh, cool.
Portland.gov.
Yes, that's the same link.
reported that ICE facility is guarded. Basically, the city received reports of federal officers using chemical munitions against protesters, including pepper balls and HC smoke.
Yes.
Hexachlor. Yep, there we go.
Yep. Smoke grenades.
We have
I see
confirmation in Portland. So it seems if they are using it in Minneapolis, it wouldn't be. This is the government website of Portland, so that's as verifiable as you can get.
Right.
So if they're using it in Minneapolis, that would not be out of the ordinary, but it's totally new. Not out of the ordinary, as in like not out of step with what ICE, the atrocities ICE is doing, and I think that deserves significant follow up, especially the way you phrase the symptoms of it and like what the effects are need to be highlighted.
Yeah. No, it's more than just crowd control. It's intentionally trying to make people sick and make them sick for a longer period of time so that they're more submissive.
Right. And to make us more fearful, like you telling me this, like, who's going to go out in a crowd where you could be poisoned for life? You said this is a
well, it's a known
carcinogen.
and my understanding is one of the symptoms that if you're remotely prone to like muscle pain or nerve pain or anything like that, like it's a nervous system, I don't know what
irritant?
the word, irritant basically. Like it's It's putting you into pain and sickness for days so that you can't not comply. You can't go out and protest if you're supposed to. If they want us at home and cowering, in our beds, and then they're gassing us with something like this in our neighborhoods, where it's getting into people's houses, and then you are sick for days afterwards, and you can't go out and protest. Like it's torture. Like, it's mass torture. It's I don't even have words for the atrocity.
Yeah, it's just let's Lawrence, I think as soon as this is done, you should go write up a quick story about this and publish it and link to whatever. Like, you have the portland.gov website that verified. Like, it doesn't get more solid than that.
Yeah.
Who has any doubt that ICE would do this, that our government would order this? I don't have any. I'm like, yep, that
right. And
internationally forbidden chemicals, sure.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the way to phrase it too in the story. Like, ICE is using internationally forbidden chemicals on domestic protesters, civilians.
Yeah, exercising First Amendment right. But when they think we're domestic terrorists, it makes it a lot easier to say, well, we're combating terrorism we're using every means necessary, when in reality they're going into people's neighborhoods and homes. Like,
and that's the stuff where it's like it gets harder to defend, and I think the cult is going to narrow. And I don't refer to every Trump supporter as a cult, but there is obviously a core in there that is a cult that will never leave him. But like, it'll narrow, and especially as harm, like you can't erode the economy and then simultaneously try to institute authoritarianism without defecting people.
Yeah.
So I think, we'll see, but I think this is just so disgusting. It cuts to the soul of every person with any kind of humanity.
it really does.
That if, a kid is getting exposed to toxic, internationally forbidden chemicals, that
Right.
maybe we've gone too far, guys.
Right. Maybe this is the sign we've gone too far.
My God, I want to hop back to the topic because with you, Ahmed, I'm hearing leaders like Cory Booker is the one coming to mind, who are like, we need more training for these agents. And you had mentioned, your Effed-Up Friday was around AI hiring unqualified candidates. Do we think training and better vetting of candidates can solve the problem, or has the problem already gone too far?
I personally think it needs total reform. I probably wouldn't use the slogan abolish ICE just because it has a controversial nature to it, but I effectively abolish it and then rebuild it, rename it, change it, totally revamp what it is. I think you cannot feasibly use that name going into the next Democratic presidency. I think you have to totally reform it, training, hiring practices, reduce. You don't need this many. Focus on targeted deportations, people with criminal records. I was looking back at footage from Obama era. Not that this, he did a little bit of things I disagreed with on the deportation front anyway, but I'd see some footage that they were doing a CNN in bed, and like they approached someone who was an illegal immigrant, an undocumented immigrant. I don't like using the word illegal. That was an accident. And then they found out that the guy had no criminal record and they let him go. Like that's how it should be done. Like you don't just grab. First off, they're just racially profiling, like pass legislation to end racial profiling there. You make it a DHS policy, but then you codify it into law because the Supreme Court basically greenlit it. So you have to create law around that, end the racial profiling, and warrantless arrests.
Yeah.
Put more, like the fact that police have more standards, frankly.
Yeah.
This is making me pro NYPD here,
Right.
compared to because like I would run to them if ICE was coming for me, for protection, right? Like you need more cause to arrest people as a police officer than you do to be able to check people's papers. That's invasive. I don't carry around my birth certificate, although I do sometimes when I travel. And it's like, yeah, I don't think just the training. I think you need top-down reform of ICE and rename it. Because apparently we have a precedent set by this president where you can just do whatever you want to the federal agencies. Okay, great. Thanks for establishing that precedent, Donald. Next Democratic president, do whatever you want to these agencies and reshape them for good.
Right. Department of War. Let's get rid of that name.
Yeah.
Too aggressive.
I mean, it should be the Department of Defense, right? Like the idea, obviously we need to defend ourselves. We need a Department of Defense, but a Department of War is really only used for one purpose, which is going to war.
Right?
You know, I'm not going to go all Dennis Kucinich and be like, we need a Department of Peace, but, a Department of Defense is good. And the State Department is basically a Department of Peace. That's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and also Associated Press is actually still calling it Department of Defense, and I still call it Department of Defense.
Me too.
Journalism, because it's technically still like it's not actually officially changed.
Right.
No,
only
the
Congress
chat's
can change
telling
it, right?
Yeah, it's not statutorily changed, so it's like, AP still, and good for you, AP. They refer to it in headlines. I refer to it in that. You refer to that. Like, hold the line, and they also held the line on Gulf of America too. Gulf of Mexico. You don't buy into their stuff. But again, I really do think he's established some precedents here, and Supreme Court's expanding presidential power, where it's like, okay, you know what? Cat's out the bag. Then next Democratic president, do it for good. Change, reshape government back. We're gonna need like a straight up the most brilliant minds in the country to like go and do public service and rebuild the government and and reshape it. And then apparently the executive has all the power to do whatever they want. And I think you just have to, because this is insanity and it needs to be reversed ruthlessly.
100%. I know we're getting short on time, and we have two things we got to do before the show ends. Here's the first one. I just put the link in the chat. I think y'all are so active. You've now crashed my browser twice, which I view as a sign of success. But you are going to be a keynote speaker for Martin Luther King Day. And hold on, I just put the PBS article in here. Let me go find it here. PBS Wisconsin and Wisconsin Public Radio will celebrate Martin Luther King Day with a special live broadcast. And it will be, you will be giving the keynote address. Can you talk a bit about that, how that came to be? And
I am so excited.
Me too. Congratulations.
Thank you. Dr. Jonathan Overby, who's been at Wisconsin Public Radio for decades. They've been organizing this as the longest running MLK commemoration in the country. And they run it every year, and they do celebrations, and there's always a speaker. And he called me. He just randomly cold called me. I just randomly got a cold call. He apparently saw me on CNN, and then just cold called me, and then was like, offered it to me. And I was like, he was like, you need to think about it. I was like, I don't need to think about it. Like, yes.
What is there to
I
think
will
about?
happily go. And I'm just I just finalized the speech yesterday. I mean, I've been working on it for like over a month now, putting all the ideas together. I updated it significantly after Renee Good was killed.
Yeah.
And I have a lot to say about the moral leadership this country needs right now, the examples and lessons we can take from Dr. King, the mass organizing, the mass nonviolent movement that he led. Like, there's so many lessons, and most importantly, the moral leadership side of it. Like, we need more people talking like that again, about the right and wrong, about what, like trying to move and persuade people with their hearts and minds, like focus, like, we could talk policy, we could talk affordability, but like get back to that core of like, this is not who we are. And I think we're approaching one of my, I don't want to spoil it, but like one of my premises is that like, I think we're approaching a new founding era. Like, I think we had the first founding, we had the first founding with the revolution, second founding with Reconstruction, where people don't realize how much Black progress was made. 2,000 Black public officials were elected back then. 10 U.S. House representatives, 2 Black U.S. senators, Reconstruction, right after Civil War. Black people were voting, and then there was the backlash with Jim Crow after. And then that third founding is MLK and what they did to push us forward. And now we're in the middle of that post-Obama backlash, and now we have a chance here. I think we already can start gearing up for that. We're going to be having that debate, especially in the 2028 primary stage. But like a conversation about who we are as Americans, what we are, what it means to be American, who is an American. And I think we're approaching a new founding era where each of us now can be founders in this new era and try to push us towards actually achieving the promise we were promised, you know?
Yep.
So that's where I'm at. That's where my head is at on it.
I love
Incredible.
it. I love that framing, Ahmed. It's so good.
Where will we be able to read or watch your speech, either live or afterwards?
Yeah, so PBS Wisconsin is going to broadcast it live on their site, their YouTube, 1 p.m. Eastern time, Big 12 Central time. And then I'm going to obviously take it and post my whole speech on my Substack, which anyway, if you guys are watching, you can subscribe to at ahmedbaba.news, where I do all my independent journalism.
Yeah.
And I'll repost the speech there because I was so happy when he reached out because there's been so much I've wanted to say on this for so long, and I haven't had really a venue to just. They told me to make it 23 minutes too, so I was like, okay, well, I got a lot to say, to the point where I ended up having to trim. I was surprised.
Nice.
So I'm really excited to just lay this out there, make a case for what, how we should all view ourselves in this moment.
Yep.
And
so it's done. It's written. You're practicing it. Like, it's good to go.
Yeah, it's good to go.
Nice.
I'm just refining now and
right. No more news. Right, like no more Renee Good level.
No more breaking news this weekend.
No, after Renee Good, I changed the ending, and like beefed it up significantly. It's supposed to be more of a kumbaya day, but in the spirit of MLK, we got to have some forceful truth telling about what's going on, and so yeah, thank you for letting me talk about this. I haven't really had a venue to talk about like what I've been thinking on it, and it's just this kind of. People just really need to reflect on like where we were and what he did and embodied and how we all have more power than they did at that time to make a change.
Right. And we haven't even had a moment on the show to acknowledge that we're coming into MLK weekend. We will be broadcasting on MLK Day. We are not taking the day off. We will be here. We've got Dr. Mary M. Marshall coming on to talk about MLK Day and its influence in some of her work. I don't know if you're familiar, but we've never had her on the show, but her work is great. And then we've got Marlon Weems coming on the next day. So
Marlon's a friend.
Yeah, we've had him on a couple times.
Yeah, Marlon's great. We love him.
And so, I mean, when I was programming a few weeks ago, we were like, well, we need to do some MLK related things. And then, the world has exploded since then. Like, were we expecting 2026 to be a better year? A calmer year? Wow.
Right.
I think it'll end better.
I hope you're right.
So.
I hope you're right.
Are we asking Ahmed our question?
We have to ask Ahmed our question. You usually, so we ask every guest who comes on the show in their first appearance the same question. We know you are not a member of Gen X, but I think you will still have an opinion on this. All right, you ready? Mm-hmm. What is the most Gen X song of all time?
The most Gen X song.
Yeah, like you're watching a movie and it's supposed to be of that era.
One just popped in my mind for no reason. I don't know. What about Zombie?
By the Cranberries?
Yeah.
That is an excellent choice. And I don't think anyone has picked that before.
It just popped in my head for some reason. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe does that connect?
Yeah,
oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, we've had someone pick the Cranberries, but it wasn't Zombie. I think they picked Linger.
Yeah.
That's actually
but Zombie for this moment in time is
oh my God, right? It's like of that moment in time and also of this exact moment in time right now. Like clouds of hexachloroethane gas in our neighborhoods. And yeah.
Lawrence, can you say that word again, but with your like Darth Vader voice?
Hexachloroethane. Hexachloroethane.
I needed that before we logged off.
I need this voice changer in my life. I'm gonna just troll my wife all day with it.
Nice.
It would be great. It would be
maybe you need it for your MLK Day speech.
Yeah, that's what I really need.
Give some emphasis in certain parts.
Right.
So anyway, you guys, Dr. King was really nice.
Exactly. Just code switch out of nowhere.
Right. Totally. Yeah. Just turn it into like, a little Tinkerbell speech.
Exactly. Yeah. No,
I'm sure NPR or PBS will be very impressed with that.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Ahmed, this has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Please come back anytime, man.
Oh, of course. Thanks for having me on. This was so much. It was fun. Like I love how you all managed to keep it light. and still
We
have
try.
levity and humor. I mean, that's how we get through this, right?
Yeah,
So,
it is. That's how we're going to make
appreciate
it
you
through.
guys.
Thanks to everyone in the chat for being so active that you've crashed my browser multiple times. That's my favorite. And yeah, we will be back on MLK Day, as I said, with Dr. Mary M. Marshall. We've got a whole week of programming next week lined up. So we will see you Monday. Have a wonderful Friday and the rest of your weekend.
Thanks, everybody.
We love you. Mean it.
Love you, mean it. Bye.
Thank you.
Mwah. Mwah.
Mwah.
I gotta do too. Mwah.